We're on. Hey everybody, it's Vanessa, the Crafty Gemini. Welcome back to another episode of WIP Wednesday. This is episode number 72, and today I wanted to talk about my latest bag club, which is now open. So this is going to be our 10th, or is, because it's open, our 10th edition of the Crafty Gemini Bag Club, and it's actually the second version of Mini Bag Club. So we launched the Mini Bag Club earlier this summer, and all the projects were smaller. Everybody had a lot of fun, and I found that a lot more students were able to complete all the projects, including the additional bonuses, than usual, especially when the bags are, bigger, more complex, more hardware. I know everybody has super busy lives and it gets a little bit tricky to make time to make all the projects. So we launched another mini bag club with smaller projects, and I personally like these better than the last ones. I want to say a big thank you to those of you that are tuning in the chat here. I've seen a bunch of you already sign up for the club and you haven't even seen the project. So thank you so much for trusting me and believing in my teaching style and my skills, right? So thanks again to everybody who has signed up for the club already. The link is in the description box below for you. And if you can see me and hear me, just go ahead and type something in the chat so we can make sure everything is working. I see Claudia's in the house from North Carolina, Margie from Wisconsin, Linda from New Jersey. Okay, good. So y'all can see me. Yes, Sharon says, I'm glad the videos don't expire. She says, I'm getting ready for a craft fair the first weekend in December, and I haven't even made any from the last club yet. Well, you still got some time. If you can make some time between now and then, you'll definitely be able to make some. So let's start talking about the mini bag club. If you want to go ahead and switch them over to the over-the-shoulder camera, I'll show you all the bags. We'll talk a little bit about what's included. Here are all the projects, y'all. Personally, I already have doubles of some of them, but I'm going to be making a ton of these for gifts for the holidays. I'm like so excited about these projects, and I'll explain why in a minute. I'm going to scoot these guys out of the way first, and we'll go over some of the things that are included in your bag club membership. If you've been around for a while, you already know, and I'm thinking those are the ones that have already signed up because you know how it works, right? So we're going to be tackling all of these projects, and we'll go into in depth, and I'll show you the compartments of each one and talk a little bit about the different skills and techniques that I'll be teaching you how to do as we make the project, right? Because that's how I like to teach. I teach you skills and techniques, but not in a vacuum. We don't just grab two scrap pieces of fabric and sew a zipper to it. I want to show you different zipper applications so that as you start to create your own projects or tackle more complex bag projects out there, you'll have the foundation, right, of skill set and the skill set to tackle more tricky projects. All right, so when you sign up for my club, first of all, the price right now is $97. And I'm about to go into what you get for those $97. We've already established, as Sharon told us in the chat here, your access to the content never expires. So when you sign up for any of my courses or clubs, you have access indefinitely, okay? So you get a printable calendar so that you know exactly when we will be posting. Each project gets posted individually. So there is a scheduled date and time for each project, bag 1 through 5, okay? When I talk about the 5 bags, I'm talking about the main ones. After we go through these, I'll tell you a little bit about 3 additional bonus video courses that we added. So for the $97, you're gonna get 8 video courses total, okay? Now the calendar is only 2 pages long because we are gonna be done with all these projects and have all the content posted for you by Wednesday, December 7th, okay? I'm gonna be working super hard to crank out all the, because my videos, my courses have multiple videos per project because I like to teach really step-by-step and in-depth. So I'm gonna be cranking out all these video courses for y'all. By the time we close the doors on the signups for this club, you will already have 2 bag project courses posted, okay? So here's one thing that I do want to tell y'all, a little disclaimer. The idea of this club is not to expect you to keep up with my schedule, but instead, if you are going to be making stuff, like one of y'all already said, making stuff for craft fairs, if you are way behind on making gifts for the holidays, or you see some of these projects and you want to make them for your loved ones and friends, you will have time because, again, the projects are smaller and I'm going to have all the content out for you quick, okay? So the first bag project is going to go up next Monday. The second one next Friday. So that's 2 in 1 week. Then we have a live Q&A, bag 3, 4, and 5, things like that. So what we did have to do though was the live events that we do live question and answer sessions where you are able to pre-submit questions on bag projects that I've taught. So when we do bags 1, 2, and 3, we'll send out a form and it'll be on the course or the club platform. You can enter your questions there and I will answer any questions that you submit to me on bags project or bag projects 1, 2, and 3. I'll answer them all in the one live Q&A. And then we have another live the live Q&A is for bags 1 and 2. Then we'll have another live Q&A for bags 3 and 4. And then we'll have a third live question and answer session for bag 5. Bag 5, I wanted to kind of keep it separate because it's a little bit more involved. If you have signed up for any of my classes in the past and my clubs, you know that I tend to teach them in an order where the techniques kind of build on themselves and they grow, okay? So we're going to obviously start off with the easiest bag and work our way up to the trickiest bag. Although I say tricky, it just has a lot of pieces, but it's not that hard. And I think there's one thing about this pouch that I'm going to talk about in a second that is really going to make you be like, okay, I think maybe I want to tackle that one, especially if you've made any zippered pouches. But back to the calendar. So you have these 2 pages, okay? All these projects are going to be posted on the scheduled date and time. All that stuff is in the club already. If you sign up right now, like many of you have already done, when you log in, all the stuff is there, the welcome video, the calendar. We have this master supply checklist. So you can go through and see if you already have the stuff that you'll need for these projects. Some things are optional, but I did my mini bag clubs. I try to do it so that we can use our fabric scraps and you use minimal supplies, okay? So, and I'll point that out now when I go over the bags. The last PDF I wanted to show you is, excuse me, a freebie video tips PDF that we put together. And of course, down here, there's a picture of each of the 5 projects. You can print these out, store them in a folder, and that way, as we release each one of the video courses, you can print out the supplemental PDFs that also accompany the video lessons, and then you can jot down your notes and keep everything super duper organized. Okay. Thank you. Heather says, don't forget to like the video. Yeah, if you are enjoying this video or you're excited to see the projects, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Okay, now let's go ahead and start with the first project. And I'm going to show you them in order of how I'm going to teach them. I think I can remember that. This is the easiest one, so we'll start here. So this little, super cute, a little origami patchwork pouch. They're little drawstrings, and this one will include the 2 sizes. So a couple of key things about this project that I do want to chat about. The little guy, I mean, how cute is this? This could be a little gift bag, and that way the recipient of the gift can save the bag and use it to store other stuff. Look at the bottom of this. Isn't that cute? Now, notice that these bags are empty. They're lightweight. But the only interfacing that is used in here is a cotton woven fusible interfacing. So if you're familiar with the product that I like to use is a Bosal Fashion Fuse, and it's about the equivalent of the Pellon version would be the Pellon, did I just say Bosal? I said Fashion Fuse. Yeah, that's what the Bosal, that manufacturer calls it, Fashion Fuse. That's what we sell in our shop. And the Pellon version is Shape Flex, SF101. That's the only product you need. Now, if you've made bags or pouches before, you're probably like, that doesn't sound right. Because it's very difficult to get a bag to stand up on its own, meaning to have enough structure and shape using such a lightweight interfacing and fabric. That's all we're using here, fabric and that. But because of the construction technique and the way that we fold the fabric here, we have some additional bulk just in the folding of it, not necessarily in the stitching. So any home sewing machine will be able to make this project easily. But this allows kind of a more stable bottom, and that way it stands upright. Isn't that super cute? I'm obsessed. You can use any cording, any drawstring, any yarn. This is like t-shirt yarn that I used here for the drawstring. But the reason I really wanted to show you this project and to plug it is because this is the scrap buster for you. If you have a lot of random fabric scraps, this is the project. Because although I only featured 2 fabrics here, this could be 4 smaller pieces of your fabric scraps. And then, of course, the lining. Okay? But this one measures, and I'll give you some rough measurements. This is about 5 by 5 by 5 when it's open like this. Super cute, and I love, love, love that it stands up on its own. This taller one is about 6 by 6 by 7 inches tall. Again, it's totally empty, and look at the shape. I love it. And it's a great way if you're a quilter and you're not working on a quilt right now, hey, let's do a little bit of patchwork, some piecing in here, right? Feature 2 to 4 different fabrics. It's going to be a really, really cute one. So this one obviously doesn't have any closures, I mean, aside from the drawstring, but no snaps, no zippers, nothing like that. So it's going to be pretty straightforward. And I see y'all cranking out a ton of these, I think, coming up for the holiday season. Even to sell at craft fairs, they would be great too. Oh, thank you. Marcia says, I love this project bag. If you knit socks, hello, perfect size for a little sock pouch for your project bags. If you're crocheting smaller projects, that would be super cute to use for that as well. All right. So Justina says, I buy SF101 by the bolt. Then you're going to be set, Justina, for this club, because I'll go ahead and say it right now. None of the projects that we are making require batting, fusible batting, fusible fleece, foam interfacing, none of that. Okay? There are only 2 interfacings that we'll be using throughout the entire club, and I have them right here. Cotton woven fusible interfacing, like I just mentioned in that one drawstring pouch. This is the Bosel Fashion Fuse. You could use the Pellon Shapeflex, that. And the other one is this Durafuse, which the Pellon equivalent is Craft Fuse 808. Okay? That's it. And it's not that every project features all of them. Most of these projects only feature fabric and the cotton woven fusible interfacing. So if you buy Shapeflex by the bolt like Justina and you got a big fabric stash, you're going to be set for most of these projects, okay? So that was the first one, the little origami patchwork. And we are going to give you in the PDF the instructions, the cutting directions to make these in both of these sizes. So you get the mini and then the bigger one, okay? Number 2 is this one, my little puffy pouch. So this little pouch is designed to basically hang on the inside of a larger bag or a larger tote. So this is going to be optional. Obviously, if you just want to use it as a little pouch by itself, you could do that and like throw it in a backpack or a bag or something. But I went ahead and made a little tab here with a 1/2-inch D-ring, metal D-ring that we use on the end, so that from another strap, you know how sometimes your handbags and your purses, whether you make them or you buy them, oftentimes they have a little tab hanging with a little lobster clasp that you can use, and I think I have one right here. This is bigger than what I would need for this, but you know what I'm talking about, these guys like this, and then this strap would be cling to the inside of a bag. That way you could keep something that you wanted to access quicker from your purse or handbag, okay, than just having it drop to the bottom. So that is the idea behind this. So some hand sanitizer, a lip gloss, your keys maybe, some coins, change, stuff like that. And this one does have a zipper as the closure for it and the opening. So it's fully lined and the edges here are bound. Now this one I made using the Durafuse. If you have an industrial sewing machine and you like how crisp that non-woven interfacing makes it, you could use it. But I will let you know, I broke 2 sewing machine needles stitching the binding onto this one, right? So this is something that we do here as designers, as instructors. I have to work out all the kinks before I can even release it to y'all, the students, right? Because I want you to have the most success possible. So although this gives us a crisper finish because of the different interfacing used, it's a little bit too bulky for a home sewing machine to get through. And so this is some of the testing that we do here to make sure that this, if we just use the cotton woven fusible interfacing instead, like I did on this one, it still has the same, similar shape, but we can squish it completely flat. It's lighter and it's so much easier to sew. On this one, I used a basic home sewing machine and used an 80-12 universal needle. So this is like the bulkiest area of any of these projects. So if you can sew through this, you know that you'll be able to sew the rest. Okay, so if a home sewing machine with a generic 80-12 needle can get through it, you'll be all set. Okay, so that's the second one, the puffy pouch. The third one is this little pencil pack. If this is not the cutest at first I was like, oh, I wanted to teach basically what it was, a different way to box the bottoms. So I'm always trying to teach different techniques, okay? So on this one, if you can see here, the way that the bottom is made, it's not a box bottom like we would do with a gusseted bottom, okay? And y'all have probably seen my little pinch pouches. I don't have one up here, but have you seen in the faux leather when I teach that one that we pinch the corners to give it a different, more decorative finish on the bottom corners? Well, this is another new technique on a super simple pouch. This is kind of like tucked in there, and so it allows the bottom to sit flat, whether it is empty or has stuff in it. So this one is a little pencil pouch, and I'll show you. I could still fit more in here, but look at this. Carla Lisa says plop dead. How cute. Isn't it so cute? Have y'all seen the trends of like these super teensy mini purses going around? It's the first thing I thought because I was like, let me check. I'm like, I think with these dimensions that even a bulky phone could fit in here. And then I grabbed my phone. This is an iPhone 12 Pro Max with a case. So it's quite big. And I could fit it in here and I still have plenty of room. I could put, you know, my car keys, an ID, a couple of cards, some lip gloss or something. And walk around with this super little teensy purse. I thought it was so cute. And then my daughter saw it. I was like, yeah, the tweens and teens would definitely want something like this, especially since it can fit their phone in there. But I designed it to be a pencil pouch, okay? But notice, it stands up empty. Even when it's empty because of the technique used for the box bottom. This is a simple, it's a great way to introduce, you know, a little step up from a shorter zipper that we're going to do on bag number 2. Now we're getting into a little bit longer of a zipper, a different technique. And this one does feature that Bosal Durafuse. Okay, that's the crisp, non-woven fusible interfacing. Again, I said the Pellon equivalent would be Craft Fuse. Okay, but how cute is that? Again, craft fairs, gifts. You change up the whole vibe of the project just on the fabric that you use. So this is my little Halloweeny one. But you can see how many markers I have in here. You have kids that are in school. Okay, pens, markers, color pencils, all that stuff, or use it as a cute little mini purse. Okay, I'm obsessed. This one is like one of my faves. Okay, oh my gosh, Jamie says, oh, my girls are gonna want that pouch for the pencils. I agree. And notice, I obviously use the same fabric for both the strap and the pouch here, but you have an opportunity to really play with fabrics. You can use something wild and super fun for the lining. You can make the strap out of a different fabric, maybe use cork. You could use a fun, funky rainbow vinyl. I mean, you can dress this up or down as much as you want, okay? But really, it's mostly for not just how cute the size is, but for teaching y'all this bottom boxing technique, okay? So that is 1, 2, and 3. Now, number 4, this one is my fave, and this came about because I needed this. Okay, when I travel, I don't like to take my big essentials wallet. If you've taken my classes or been in my clubs, you know what I'm talking about when I say essentials wallet. It's a chunkier one. It's where I have all my stuff. When I travel, I want to minimize the amount of cards and stuff that I'm taking, right? So this little pouch is just that. And the measurements are about 5 3/4 this way by about 5 inches up. So easy to hold in your hand, and you can slip it in a larger pocket of a bigger tote if need be. Okay, it has a plastic snap for closure, so we'll be covering how to do that, which we also did in the last mini bag club. So if you're a student there, you probably have everything you need for that already. If you've never attached snaps to a project, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. It's super easy. So here we have a couple of pockets. For such a small, like a slim silhouette, here's what we have. Oh, and let me grab my cards. They're in another one. I have these Dave & Buster's arcade cards here that are great for this. So the first thing you see on the front are going to be 2 card pockets. Okay, now the card pockets can fit more cards. So if you're like me, I put like an ID and a debit card and maybe a credit card and a hotel card, you know, room card key in the other one or whatever. So you can still fit more than just one card in one pocket, okay? But this is split so that you have 2 pockets here just for cards or IDs. And then we have a little zippered pocket right there above the card. And there is that little zippered pocket. So you can put obviously flat stuff. Since this doesn't have a box bottom, we're not going to be sticking, you know, really chunky things in there. But still, receipts, cards, whatever you might need in there. And this is my most favorite part. Behind the credit card and the zippered pocket, I have a slip-in pocket here. Ta-da! For my passport. Because this thing, you know that when you have small bag projects, it's like perfect for everything else that's smaller, and then the passport is too big. So here, I have my ID. I can fold up my boarding pass. I know, I'm one of those that doesn't do the digital thing because if I can't get reception or I can't get it to work, I need my stuff on paper. But I will fold my boarding pass in here with my passport, and it is the perfect little snap travel wallet. Super cute. Okay, so that's this one. Oh, thank you, Zena. She says clever. Yay, Valerie says I'm all signed up. Well, let's take a little roll call real quick. If you've already signed up for this mini bag club number 2, go ahead and let us know in the chat box below. I want to welcome y'all live and on camera. Thank you so much. Jamie, thank you. I saw you signed up. Awesome. Okay, so that's that was project number 4. So we've gone so far. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I'm obsessed. This is going to be so cute. I'm going to make it like a little purse with some fancy fabrics and I'm going to show y'all in the club. Oh my gosh, I love it. And then we did 4. Oh, great. All right, let's see. Claudia says I'm signed up. Diane is signed up. Janelle says me. Carla's all signed up. Nancy also. Barb. Yay, Barb, you signed up. Awesome. Thank you. Susie says I'm in the process of signing up. Thank y'all so much. This is awesome. All right. Mag says I'm signed up. David says I'm signed up. Awesome. Okay, so that was the 4th one. Let me pull my cards out of this one so I can show you the next one because I get a lot of requests. We recently put out a survey asking y'all what would you like to see, what types of projects in these bag clubs, and the overwhelming kind of thing was like smaller, quicker projects, easier things to make, and a lot of requests for wallets. So aside from the little mini travel wallet, which, you know, passport, you can also use it for other stuff. It's fine. I did want to go ahead and have a proper, you know, more like a little zipper wallet that could also be a wristlet, okay? So that is what we have here. And this one is the clip-on pocketbook. This one has 2 zippers, okay? Now remember, this is bag 5. So this guy is going to feature more stuff, more steps, more pieces, and more skills. But by the time you make these ones, you know, they're kind of stepping stones. As I teach you each one, you're learning new techniques, you're perfecting sewing straighter, right? You're top stitching, you're learning different tips and tricks for cutting more accurately as we go along. And then we're gonna get to this guy. So here, similar to how we did on the little puffy pouch, I went ahead and put a tab here with a key ring. So few different things. Similar to the other one, you could also clip it. I'm just going to grab this little lobster clasp that's just making the rounds. So pretend you had that with a strip of fabric. It could be cork, vinyl. You can make it out of cotton fabric. And you could make a wristlet strap out of it. And this could just be a wristlet. Because although it is small and slim in the silhouette, 2 pockets. So let's open up the front. The front pocket has 4 slots for cards. Okay? And these cards, unlike the other travel one, the other travel wallet that the cards went in vertically, this one is different. So you'll learn how to make credit card slots for 2 different ways. And that way, it's kind of the way that I like to teach so that as you hack patterns and you change things up, you'll have now the techniques to do, you know, to add credit card slots to another project. If you have a bag that you really like, but you're like, hey, I would love it if, you know, this project had some credit card slots. Now, after tackling these, you'll know how to make them so that you can insert cards vertically or horizontally. So just different techniques, okay? So there are 2 cards there, and then of course there's 2 slots for the cards further down. So 4 of them there. And then you still have, obviously it's still a full pocket, so you could put a couple of other little flat small things in there. We can leave this in here. And then the top pocket, another zippered pocket, and this one has a partition down the middle. So I have a checkbook in here, so you could use this as your main wallet and keep, say, receipts on one side and your checkbook on the other, okay? So you can see that there. Now the other thing about this is, again, because, you know, multi-purpose, right? I could also fit, again, this big chunky phone in here, and I could slip in this checkbook. So this is why I say it could be a wristlet too, because if you had that strap there, you have everything you need, your cards, your ID, a couple of small flat things, your phone, a checkbook if you need it. Nowadays we really don't, but just so that you know, right? And you have it, and boom, everything is compact in the one little clip-on pocketbook. Okay, so I try to work out these dimensions so that, you know, they serve a lot of purposes. Obviously, if you have a huge case on your thing, it might not work for this, but it's just something in a pinch that if I wanted to grab it, hey, let me grab my phone, I can slip it right in here. So again, that has a partition right down the middle. So more skills that you're learning. So it is a little wallet, but we have a lot going on, right? We have credit card slots and 1 zipper for that front pocket. We have another zippered pocket and a larger pocket opening with a partition that comes out of there. Okay, now here is the main thing about this pouch that I think is the main reason why I included it in this club. If you have a look with me here on the ends, you will see that one, there is no fabric. You know how if you've made zippered pouches, I'm talking to you. We have not added fabric to the ends, right? I've taught zippered pouches for over a decade, and I have dozens of tutorials on YouTube, probably dozens, if not at least 1 or 2 dozen, okay? And I try to teach different techniques every time. Now, the cleanest way to make your zipper pouches, y'all probably know, is to, when you're prepping your zipper, add a little chunk of fabric to one end, add another little chunk to the other end, so that the fabric ends up going into the side seam and you get a clean finish, right? Well, when you try to make the zipper pouch without those fabric tab ends, it can be tricky for people to get a clean finish. Well, in this technique, my friends, you can see that I've saved myself the extra step of cutting fabric to add to the end, and I have a seamless finish where the zipper just kind of slides and tapers off into that side seam on both of these. Can y'all see that? I personally think this is the way to go with zipper pouches in this technique, because one of the things about adding those fabric tab ends, because some people just like, they will not make a zipper pouch without them. One thing that I have found is that when you're making a smaller project, when you add the fabric to the ends, no matter how small those zip tab ends can be, it still eats away at the finished, right, full length of your zipper. So if you're already making a smaller project and I have fabric all the way to here, instead of getting the full 8¼ inches across in this pouch, I'm now eating up maybe 1/2 inch here, 1/2 inch here, and now it's shrinking the full opening here by about 1 inch, right? If I have that zipper in there, I want the zipper to go all the way from end to the other end, all right? So the way I'm gonna show you to do this is a game changer. I just have to say it. I mean, I think that alone, and I had to do something like this because I wanted to keep it as sleek as possible, because the bag, it's not a zippered pouch with a big bottom. We don't have gussets. We're not doing anything like that. It just is a slim profile, and so I wanted to keep it like that for those ends, okay? Thank you, Tamara. She says, genius, I love it, and it looks great. Yay, Marilyn says, I can't wait to learn that zipper technique. See, I know my people, like, and I always say, like, if you've made zippered pouches, you know what I'm talking about. We struggle with those ends, right? And then it's like, oh, I have to cut out the fabric zip tab ends and sew them on. And again, like I mentioned, it's not that much more work, but it does eat up at the full length of my zipper, and I don't want that. So this is the way, okay? Thank you, Zena. She says, Vanessa, you thought of everything. Well, you know, I use these projects. I use the stuff that I make, similar to how I mentioned in the Snap, in my little Snap travel wallet here. I come up with stuff because I need it, and I have, and I really like practical and functional projects, right? So I know where they would work and what they wouldn't, and that's why we have so many projects, right? Because not every single one suits our needs for every single instance. So we got to have all the bags and all the pouches, okay? Oh, Carlos says, I hate the tab ends, LOL. I feel you, girl. I feel you. Oh, great. Louise says, I definitely struggle with the ends of zippers, so I'm looking forward to learning this. Great. Thank you so much. All right, so a quick recap. Bag project number 1, they stand up by themselves, empty, because of the little origami folding technique that we're going to do here. Great scrap buster, no zippers. We're starting off with this one in the 2 sizes, okay? Number 2 is this guy, the little puffy pouch zipper technique. We're going to finish off the binding. I'll show you how to make it so you have these pleats here, and that's what gives it that pop-out shape, and it has a little zipper closure, fully lined on the inside. And then we have a tab with some hardware if you wanted to clip it to something else or inside of a bigger purse. Number 3 is the little mini pencil pack. It's my favorite. It's so simple, but again, it stands up on its own, whether it's empty or full. We're introducing a different interfacing here, and I'll show you how to fuse it so that you don't get any bubbles, because I hear that often. And then the bottom, this finishing technique on the corners. You see how I can slip my finger in here? The way that it's sewn and folded makes it so that on the outside you see the side seam going, and then it just tucks in and it creates that flat bottom on it without seeing the seam on the exterior like we would in traditionally boxed corners, okay? So cute, obsessed. Number 4, my little Snap Travel wallet here. You have room for cards. We have a zippered pocket, and then I love that I can fit my passport in there, perfect size for travel. And then the last one is the one that we just went over. So the 2 zippered compartments. So a lot of steps, right? Because there's more stuff going on here with the 2 zippers. We have 4 credit card slots, a main zipper that has a partition so we can put checkbook and receipts or separate cash from receipts, whatever you want to do with that. And then optional, of course, but we added the tab with the little key ring. So if you wanted to turn it into a wristlet, you could with something like this sample lobster clasp, just to show y'all. So I really, really love what we did here with these projects for this new mini bag club number 2. The cost to sign up is $97, and I'll go over it now. It is open from right now while you're watching me, if you're watching me live, all the way up to next Friday. So you have 9 days to sign up, okay? We're going to close the doors and close off registration next Friday, which is November 18th, I believe, at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. That's my time. That will be the last day to sign up, okay? Because we shut down the doors and close everything up so that we can, we have live events. We're going to have live question and answer sessions, live Zoom social hours for students to chit chat with one another. And I always like to start my clubs like that. So we shut the doors down. We all start together. We're going to go through the projects together. But really important, remember that you don't have to try and keep up with my wild schedule, okay? There is a full calendar that you can access in the club once you sign up. And I link to the calendar in the product page. So that way you can just click on it. If the dates and stuff don't work for you, then you don't have to sign up, right? You don't have to, but at least I put you the calendar there so that you can see when everything is going on, and that way you can take that into consideration when you're thinking about whether or not you want to sign up. You have some tips here, Mini Bag Club 2, some freebie video tips that you can start looking at now because, of course, based on the calendar and the scheduled date and time is when I'm going to be posting the different projects. So project number 1 will go up on Monday. This coming Monday at noon Eastern time, then next Friday, project number 2, and that means that all the video lessons and the PDF for that project will go up at noon that day. You don't have to be watching the videos and trying to make them on time. I just wanted to launch a club that you all would have all the content to make all these projects before the holidays. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. If you want to try and keep up with me, I dare you, but you don't have to, because remember, when you sign up for my classes or any of my clubs, access to the content never expires. So when you sign up, you can just sign up right now and not look at this until next year, the holidays, and all the content will be there ready for you to access and watch. Now, aside from these 5, we have thrown in 3 additional bonus ones. Do you want to pull that up on the site for them to see? Because I don't have the actual bonus bags here, y'all. They make great gifts. So guess what I did with them? Because I've already taught these. I gifted them away. But all the video courses on how to make these 3 additional projects are there. I oftentimes get asked to incorporate projects that are good for guys. So because we kind of had a little wallet theme going on this one, I threw in my men's bifold wallet, which is a quick make. It's easy to do, and it works best, obviously, with fabric that doesn't fray. It's going to be in the gallery images of the product page. So when you click the link here in the chat or in the video description and you want to read a little bit more to decide whether or not you want to join us for this club, you can click on all the images that you see in the gallery there, and all the images for all these 5 plus the bonus ones are there. It's a bifold wallet and then 2 different totes. One that features 5-inch by 5-inch squares, my charm tote bag, and then the other one is a tote bag that has a round bottom and a patch pocket. So again, still in theme for my teaching style, quick and easy projects to make, but that are teaching you different skills and techniques. Yeah, like if you click on, keep going down and click the bottom pouch one, then the other ones will appear. Keep going down. Yeah. Is that all that shows? Because there's like 9 of them. Well, there's 8 because 5 of these plus the other 3. That's all right. There you go. That's the wallet, the charmed one, and the... Okay, but that's fine. They can see it on the product page. So when you click on the link, though, when you go to the product page, just go through the gallery images, and that will give you the visual of all the projects so you can see the bonuses. And for those of you that have already signed up, just log into your account. Guess what? The bonuses are already there. They're loaded and ready for you to watch. And if you have the stuff on hand, you can start making them tonight, okay? So 8 total. Oh, Terry was asking, not necessary, but curious, any bonus projects? There you go, Terry. I almost forgot to talk about them. You know why? Because I didn't have them right here. But yes, there are 3 additional bonus ones. One of them, I think, was in an older club from like 2018, but I know not everybody has followed me or even knew that I was doing stuff then. So we kind of pick and choose and add a couple of extra bonuses in there for y'all. So definitely check those out. Mary Grace says she's in. Thank you. Diana says, I just ordered. I'm so, so glad that y'all are joining us for these Great. Claudia says, I needed to make a wallet. And so this is one of those things where you're going to be learning different techniques from these. And then who knows, you can, hack some of the measurements and stuff and come up with your own patterns. I always love to see when my students do that because that shows the number one thing that I want to come across these courses and clubs, your confidence. I get a lot of students who are like, well, I'm scared. I don't think I can do it. If you join us and you follow along with my step-by-step video lessons, trust me, you will build up your sewing confidence to the point that you're going to be like, I can't believe I made this. I feel like that's the vibe a lot of the times when I have beginners and they take my classes. They're like, I made this. That's how I felt when I first started sewing. So I definitely can relate to the feeling, and there's nothing better, right? When you walk out, you're like, wow, it's fully lined. No raw edges. I can't believe I made this. So hopefully that's the same feeling that you get when you join our club, especially if you're new or you've never signed up for my classes. Deborah says she's all signed up. Barbara says I'm in. Thanks, Vanessa. You're welcome. Yay. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much. Oh, Susie says bonus, get out. Yeah. And you know what? Technically, there's an extra little bonus right here because this little bag, I'm giving it to y'all in 2 sizes. So we're going to make 2 different projects here. Okay. So super duper fun. If you have any questions, leave them in the chat box for me in the comment section of this video, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook. Remember that you have until next Friday, November 18th at midnight Eastern time to sign up and register for this club, and then we're going to close it down. We will be reopening this club in 2023. But the way that we do it is when we reopen it, there are no new live stuff going on. So if you sign up in 2023, you're only going to be able to watch the replays of what we're about to go through now. So if you join this club live and in person now before next Friday, you'll be able to partake in the live question and answer sessions with me and submit your own questions so I can answer it live, and the live Zoom chats as well, so you can chit chat with other students and members of the club. Okay, and then of course when we do reopen it, the price will be higher and you won't have access to the bonus videos because those bonus projects, we actually sell them on our website for $37 each. So just by incorporating those 3 additional bonuses, we literally have thrown in an extra $111 of value onto these 5 projects already, and it's still just $97. So I think it's a great value. If you decide to sign up, I'm super excited because I can't wait to see the fabrics that you choose and the projects that you make as usual. Y'all always blow me away. So thank you so, so much. I'm so glad. Thank you. Susie says, I'm doing my happy dance. I'm glad to hear it, Susie. Thank y'all so much. And that's going to be it for now. I'm going to post another video to YouTube where it's not me live, but I'm going to walk y'all through the projects and everything. So if you have any friends that you want to share that video with, it will be up tomorrow. Okay, so that's something you can share with friends and say, hey, have a look at this. You might want to jump into this because we still will have time to tackle even if just 1 or 2 of these before the holidays to make them as gifts or sell them. Okay? Thanks again for watching, everybody. Thank you to all of you who have signed up for my new mini bag club number 2, and I'll see y'all in the next video.